Hey YouTube, welcome back. Again, today is I would say kind of a little bit off topic, but not really, because as I said, if I find any tech I find really useful, I will bring it on the channel and review it and bring it to your attention. And today's video is just one of those. It's something I picked up recently and found really useful and didn't even know it existed, and was quite intrigued when I kind of stumbled across it while I was doing my online shopping, as you do. So today's video is about a product that is actually really cheap. Anybody can afford it, more or less, but quite useful. Now, it's to do with productivity, and it's just about keeping track of your time. And I'm one of those people who, when I'm doing work on the computer, like if I'm working and I'm pressurized, I've got a lot of things to do. What I have been doing over the years is using a Pomodoro timer, and the ones I end up settling down using were the ones that are online, like in a web browser, and I can just use them in the browser while I'm doing some work. I set a Pomodoro mode for like 25 minutes or 20 minutes. Then I have a 5-minute break or 8-minute break or whatever the time intervals I set are. And it just goes through that maybe 3 or 4 times. And then I take maybe a 30-minute break and then continue. Now, it's really hard to stick to those kind of timings throughout the day. But if you've really got a lot of things to do and you really need to get some things out the door, I find it's quite useful to knuckle down and just use the timers, right? So I've used different types. All of them have always been online. I know you can get apps on your phone as well. But yeah, I'm not really a massive fan of having these kind of timers on your computer or on a phone. I prefer to have something dedicated. But I didn't really find anything like that. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I was even looking for one. But yeah, so I've always found them useful. When I need to use them, I just use my one online and put it in the browser and I'm good to go, okay? Now, today's product is just that. It's basically a timer. It's a count up and a count down timer. But this is the product right here, okay? This is called the Gravity Timer. I'm not going to do an unboxing because you can see it's already here. But this is the box. It's called Gravity Timer. You can get them in white with the black digits, or you can get it with black with the white digits. Very cute, very, very small, 3.5 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters, I think, or just 4 on this side. And it is a LED screened on one side, and the other sides you have the minutes of the time that you want to set. And then basically once you set your timings, the timer has got 2 modes whereby it's got 3 notification modes. Okay, let's just get straight into it. It's got 3 notification modes. It can vibrate, it can have a sound level 1, and it's got a sound level 2 where it's just slightly more louder than the other one. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of what it is. Now, it looks really simple. You got the screen there. I'm going to flick it on in a minute, but I just want to give you an overview before I get into the workings of it. So, like I said, the time intervals you have 5 minutes, 10, 30, and 60. You don't have 1, you don't have 2, but if you, for example, wanted to have a 20-minute timer, you can just have a 10-minute timer. When that finishes, you just do the 10-minute timer again. If you wanted 25, you could just do 2 10s and a 5 or so on. You know what? If you want 2 hours, 3 hours, you do 60 minutes and then you do it again for 60 or whatever amount of time you want to use this for. Okay. Now, that's the outside. On this side, you have the screen. You're going to see it in a minute. Okay. So a little bit off center there. And at the back, what do we have? Right. We have basically 2 modes, 2 operating modes. I did the notification modes. These are the operating modes here. You have 2 of them. And when you have an automatic mode, or the gravity timer, which is basically, I find to be the best use of this and the mode that I use all the time, or you have manual. In manual, you can set the seconds and you can set the minutes that you want to come up on the screen. And you have a way of counting up to that time that you set, or you have a way of counting down from the time that you set, okay? When you go into manual mode, it's right, you push this button right at the bottom and you set your timings using these buttons for seconds and minutes, okay? And this is the start and the stop of manual mode, okay? This side is the notifications mode. If I move it right to the top here, just keep the USB charging port at the bottom so you get your right orientation. So if I move the notification slide up to the top, that's in vibration mode. In the middle, I have sound level 1, and right at the bottom I have sound level 2, which is the loudest, okay? And I'll let you know in vibration mode, the thing actually vibrates. I wouldn't put it on the edge of the table because if you don't switch it off, it'll probably vibrate and fall on the floor. Anyway, it's pretty well made, really nice plastic, feels very solid, nothing rattling in there at all. And at the bottom here, you have a USB-C port and a tiny little speaker outlet so you can hear the alarm. And this is a battery charging status indicator there. When you plug it in to your USB port on your computer, it's red when it's charging, and when it's fully charged, the battery inside, which is a 500 milliamp hour battery, it goes solid green. Okay. Now let me go to the manual mode. So I'm going to switch it on and put it all the way down to the bottom. Sorry, I keep going out of shot there. Right. So here we have the screen. Okay. So if I wanted a timer for, let's say, 10 seconds, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go to my seconds button here and I'm going to press it. I'm going to flip it back over so you can see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm going to press start, right? You can see it's counting down, and after the timer's gone, it's going to start to, its alarm is going to ring. Okay, just like your standard alarm clock, and I can press this button here to stop it, okay? And I'm not going to go into the incremental mode because I to be honest, I haven't really looked into that, and I don't really use it for that. Now the mode I use it for, and what I find the most brilliant about this particular device is gravity mode. So let me do that. So I've moved this up to the top and I'm now in gravity mode. Actually, sorry, there are 3 positions on both of these buttons, okay? On this one, it's got 3 positions. When I'm right at the top, it's actually off, yeah? When I move it to the middle, then I'm in gravity mode, okay? And you can hear it beep there. What's so good about gravity mode? Well, these are just printed on numbers here, 5, 60 minutes, 5 minutes, etc. But the beauty is, once you flip this up, you can see here, it automatically starts timing down for a 5-minute timer, okay? So, this is, what I love about this thing is you can use it not just for yourself for work, you can use it for anything, and it's a physical product that you can take with you. It's not an app on your computer that's tied to your computer, your desktop or your laptop or whatever, or it's not tied to your phone. It's an object you can take around with you anywhere. So if you're doing training or if you're playing some music and you say, you know what, I want to do 30 minutes practicing scales on my guitar, just flip it up, 30 minutes, boom, you're good to go. Okay, and this is what I love about this. And even better is, say I wanted to pause the timer. Pause now. All I do is flip it up so the screen is facing upwards, it's paused. If I want it to carry on, put it back down, it starts counting down. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see it's counting down, okay? One thing I've noticed, oh yeah, there's also one more mode. If I put it like this, down, that's now just completely reset it and it's gone back to 0. But it did go back to 0, but because I flicked it up to 5 minutes, it's counting down from 5 minutes, okay? So I go, you know what? 5 minutes is not long enough. Let me do a 10-minute. Flick it to 10 minutes and you can see it automatically starts counting down. Again, I'm going to pause that timer. I'm going to say, no, let's carry on counting down. I'll say, you know what? Let's make it 30 minutes. And it automatically starts counting down. Now, isn't that brilliant? That's fantastic. Yeah. And again, I put it upright. It pauses. I turn it facing down and it's now reset. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed is I've got it on 30 minutes, so it's going to start 30 minutes counting down. One thing I noticed that I did once was I left it on pause for a while. And when I came back, it actually had gone off. And the screen had gone off. And when I tried to put it back to resume, it didn't. It started from scratch again. Okay, so that might be one thing to be aware of. But isn't that brilliant? Isn't that so cool? And like, you know what, let's not do 30 minutes, let's do 10. And it automatically, what I like about it as well, is the screen rotates to reflect the timing that you've got. So you see I had it on 30 minutes. If I turn it to 60, the screen is going to automatically rotate. And you see it starts counting down 60 minutes. Fantastic. Brilliant, isn't it? Put it down to reset. Okay, so this is basically my video for today. I'll leave a link in the description. It started off already. I'll leave a link in the description for this product. It's about 10 euros, including shipping is about 12 euros. So it's about the same in dollars. So 10, 12 US dollars, or probably cheaper in the States. And yeah, I'll leave a link in the description so you can pick it up and get a couple, you know, for you, for your family, for your kids. This is brilliant because you can go to your kid, look, you got 60 minutes, you can go on the PlayStation, you can go on the Nintendo Switch or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. After that, when that time has gone, that's it, okay? Or what I prefer to do is say, look, 5 minutes, we're all gonna tidy up each of our rooms all together. 5 minutes, let's go. When the timer goes, we stop, wherever we are. So it's really handy, brilliant physical timer that just works brilliantly. It's a no-brainer. Your kids will pick this up so intuitively. Now, I love it. The only tiny little gripe I got about it, which I think they could probably improve in the next version, is if you look at the bottom here, just going to reset that. If you look at the bottom here, the controls are underneath and completely out of the way of this unit. When I put it down on a surface, nothing is being, it doesn't interfere with anything. But when you look at the screen, it protrudes above the top of the outer casing, which is a little bit of a problem because, you know, if you give this to kids or whatever and they start playing around with it and they flip it over to reset it, depending on the surface you're using, I could see this screen getting scratched up really, really easily. So that's the only gripe I have. So you just need to be a little bit careful because eventually that will get so scuffed up that you probably won't see the screen so well. But anyway, that's just a minor point. Apart from that, I think it's a brilliant product. I really highly recommend it. And like I said, there's a link in the description below. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.